Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl. I'm a creative entrepreneur embracing every aspect of life with artistic intention. Join me as I share the way I live and all the tips and tricks along the way. Allow me to inspire you to do the same. Please like, share, or comment on my videos. I'd love to hear from you. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be first to know when there's something new. Today I'm going to show you how to make this square for the Springtime Afghan project. It's a 6-round crochet motif. It's 6 inches wide and 6 inches long. We're going to use 2 colors of Be So Sporty yarn, and we're going to use an F5 or 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. In order to make the Afghan, you're going to need to decide how much yarn you're going to need, but you'll also need to decide how many squares you want. You're going to get approximately 10 squares of yardage out of each skein that you buy. So depending on what size Afghan you're looking to make, I'm thinking that with joining, that's a little under 40 squares. So if you do the math on it, it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 inches by 48. If you want your Afghan bigger, you'll need to order more yarn. If that size sounds about right to you, then 4 skeins would be enough. I've got line-by-line instructions and chart form for however you prefer to learn in the pattern download, and I'm going to follow off of the chart and the line-by-line in showing you how to make this square. So let's get started. We start by tying our yarn onto the crochet hook. You can do a slip knot if you prefer. I prefer starting with a regular knot, and we're going to chain 4. We're going to slip stitch into the 4th chain from our hook to create a ring, and we're going to chain 1 and now work 12 single crochets into that chain 4 ring, not into the chains, into the space in the middle, into that ring. So we'll work 12 single crochets. Insert your hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. As you start working your way around, it'll start to look like you've run out of space, but because you're working into the ring and not into any of the chains, you can slide them a little bit. And I'll take this opportunity to now count and see where I'm at. You're going to count the 2 vertical bars at the top of each stitch. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stitches so far. 10, 11, and 12. Okay, we're going to slip stitch to the top of the first stitch at the beginning of the round. Oh, and if you'll also notice, as a way to eliminate needing to weave in my tail, I work around it as I'm working that first round of single crochet. Slip stitch into the first stitch. We're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the very same stitch. Then we're going to chain 7, skip 2 stitches, and single crochet in the next stitch. So we'll chain 7, skip 2 stitches. So we're going to skip 1, 2, and single crochet in the next stitch. Chain 7, skip 2 stitches, and single crochet in the next. Chain 7, skip 2 stitches, and single crochet in the next. Chain 7, skip 2 stitches and slip stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning of the round. Okay. Okay, now we'll slip stitch into our first chain 7 space. We're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, and work 8 more double crochets in that big chain 7 space. A double crochet is yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the space, yarn over, pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We'll do that again. Yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, we'll count our stitches. We've got 6, we need 2 more. Do you notice how I was able to slide my stitches? Because we're working into the hole or the space, not the actual chains, we're able to slide the stitches if we need to make more room. So we'll count again. The chain 3 counted as 1, but then we have 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 double, chain 3 and 8 double crochets. We're going to chain 3. Then we're going to work 9 double crochets in the next chain 7 space. That chain 3 at the beginning here counted as our first double crochet. So now we'll work 9 double crochets into this space. And the pattern is going to be to do 9 double crochets in the chain 7 space, chain 3, 9 double crochets in the chain 7 space, chain 3. And you're going to want to repeat that all the way around. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, chain 3, and you're going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, we've come to the end of the round. We have our last chain 3, and now we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round to join. Okay, now we're going to Okay, now we're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, and we're going to work a 2 double crochet cluster over the next 2 stitches. So yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We've almost completed a double crochet, but we're going to partially complete it until we do another one and then work the last step together. That's what a cluster stitch is. So we'll yarn over our hook, insert our hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 2 partially completed double crochets on our hook, plus the original chain 3 and yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. It's replicating a 3 double crochet cluster, but because it's at the beginning of the round, it has to start with the chain 3. So now we'll chain 3, and I'll show you how we do the next one, which will be a regular 3 double crochet cluster. And it's worked over the same stitch as the last leg of the last cluster was worked in, plus the next 2. So we're going to yarn over our hook, insert our hook in the same stitch as the last stitch worked, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert our hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and then work another one in the next stitch, yarn over, insert our hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. And that's what a 3 double crochet cluster looks like. You have a partial worked of all 3, and then you do the last step of all of them together. So I'll show you that again. We're going to chain 3. And then we'll work a 3 double crochet cluster into the stitch where the last leg was worked in and each of the next 2. So yarn over, insert your hook into that last stitch worked in, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and do that in the next stitch. So now we have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on our hook, and we have another cluster stitch. Chain 3, and we'll do another cluster stitch, working into the last leg worked and each of the next 2. And then we're going to chain 6, and we're going to do the last stitch you'll need to learn for this square, which is a treble. And it's very similar to a double, but you yarn over twice your hook first, and then insert your hook in the chain 3 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to back that out so I can show you how to do it one more time. The yarn over. Chain 6, and we'll start a 3 double crochet cluster over the next 3 stitches. Chain 3, and now we're going to work our 3 double crochet cluster into the stitch where the last leg was worked of the last cluster and each of the next 2. I just want to repeat this around, and I'll show you how we join this at the end of the round. Okay, we're at the end of the round. We're going to work our last treble stitch, yarn over twice, insert your hook in the chain 3 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then we'll chain 6. And at this point in the pattern is when I'm going to fasten off and start another color. You could continue on and work your next round and do this entire square in one color. I'm choosing to do it in 2 colors where I switch colors for the next 2 rounds and then switch back to my original on the last one. So you do it as you see fit, but for me, I'm going to cut my yarn and fasten off here and start my next color my next round with a new color. I'm going to join with the crushed berry now, and I'm going to start in that first chain 3 space like the one I would have been working in anyways if I hadn't cut the yarn. I'm going to slip stitch to join. I'm going to carry that other tail with me as I work so it kind of weaves in the end as I go. Chain 1, I'm going to work 3 single crochets into that chain 3 space, and working around that tail is simultaneously weaving it in as I go. I'm going to skip the cluster and work 3 single crochets in the next chain 3 space. Skip the cluster, work 3 single crochets in the next chain 3 space. Then over the next chain 6 space, I'm going to chain 2, 3 single crochets. I dropped that tail now because I only needed to carry it for a few inches to secure it. Chain 3. In the next chain 6 space, I'm going to work 3 single crochets. Chain 2. And then work 3 single crochets each in each of the next 3 chain 3 spaces. And we'll just repeat this all the way around because every chain 6 space will be the same as well. We're going to chain 2, 3 single crochets, chain 3, 3 single crochets in the next chain 6 space, chain 2, and then 3 single crochets each in each of the next 3 or chain 3 spaces. So repeat that all the way around and I'll show you how we do the next round. Okay, we've come to the end of the round. We're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning of the round. Chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, and then we're going to work a double crochet in each of these single crochets. And just a reminder, it's yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And so we'll work a single crochet into each single crochet until we get to our chains, and I'll show you what we do there. Okay, so in the chain 2 space, we're going to work 2 single crochets, then 1 each in each of the next 3 single crochets, then in those chain 3 spaces in the corners, we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 3, and 2 double crochet. And we'll repeat that around. We'll work 1 single crochet into each stitch, two single crochets in the chain 2 space, then 1 single crochet into each of the next several single crochets, two single crochets in the next chain 2 space, 1 single crochet into each of the next 3 single crochets, and in the next chain 3 corner we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. You want to repeat this all the way around, and I'll show you how we slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 and fasten off this color. Okay, we've reached the end of our round, and we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round to join. Now, if you were not changing color, you wouldn't need to fasten off, but we are going to change color for my particular square. So I'm going to cut the yarn and fasten off. And I'm choosing to rejoin the first color, but you could add a third color in. You could, you know, sky's the limit. You could change color for every round, every other round. There's all sorts of ways you could change this up. Okay, so we'll tie the yarn back onto our hook, and we're going to join with a slip stitch in the top of that same stitch, and we're going to work, first we'll start with our slip stitch, and we're going to chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet, and we're going to work a double crochet in each stitch across to the corner, chain 3 space, and we're going to carry the tail so that it's one less end that we have to weave in at the end. which is a nice little way of trimming down some of the time at the end of the project. It's one of my favorite little tips. So we'll double crochet into every double crochet across to the corner. And now we've come to our chain 3 space in the corner, and I'm going to work 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet into this chain 3 space. And I'll set the work down so you can see what that looks like. So what we're doing is working 1 double crochet into every single double crochet, and in the corner chain 3 spaces we're working 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets. You want to repeat that all the way around and slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round to join and fasten off. Okay, we've reached the end of our round. And now we're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round to join. And fasten off. So now I have one more sample of a different color schematic of matching these squares. This is the first square in the video series that Yolanda and I are doing for the Springtime Afghan. Check back every week. We're going to alternate which week one of us shares our design. This is week 1. Next week will be Yolanda, and if you look in the bottom of the video description, you'll find out all the information for when the videos are live.